Other interesting cultural news, you have Ford Motor Company walking back their DEI initiatives as we see more and more companies kind of following this. I was about to say these tire tracks, perhaps would be the best metaphor. I mean, in the past couple of weeks, we've seen Harley Davidson, John Deere, and Tractor Supply all very publicly move away from this. Now, granted, in terms of repercussions, we haven't seen anyone on the board of directors or any of the senior leadership at these companies being ousted of these issues. So a lot of people are questioning how authentic are they really in their new statements? Are they really going to follow through with it? Or are they simply just removing it from the websites? So again, it will be interesting to see what the follow through is on these initiatives. But again, this is one of the largest, most prestigious companies out there. Even with all the recalls, Ford still makes some great things. If I won the lottery, I'd probably get a Mustang with a stick shift, as all Mustangs should be by default, of course. I mean, they won the pointing car war. I mean, the Camaro's going to be apparently an EV two-door SUV. The Charger, well, it's electric, or with an option of a straight six, which good for BMW, not for a Charger, not for a Dodge. We want a Hemi, but I partially digress. Now this comes to us thanks to Breck, who's a writer over at Fox News and Fox Business specifically, which is somehow still in business. I think I account for 13% of their network traffic these days. I'm only partially exaggerating, but they say, quote, Ford walks back woke DEI policies, joining list of growing U.S. companies. Ford says it will no longer participate in the LGBT-focused human rights campaign, corporate equality index. A little bit of stutter there, but if you click that subscribe button, it may very well help in the speaking ineptitudes. Help me think when I first started the show, spoke even worse than I do now, believe it or not. Spoke a lot faster, mostly monotone, and I stumbled over my words, kind of like Biden trying to walk upstairs, or Biden trying to speak. However, as I slowly but surely gain more subscribers, I've become more articulate in my speaking. Some might argue it's just a modicum improvement, but I would argue an improvement nevertheless. So if you can click that button and help me improve my speaking skills, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, diving in the article, they say, quote, Ford is backing away from some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, becoming the latest American firm to pump the brakes on woke policies, this year joining the likes of John Deere, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Anti-woke activist and filmmaker Robbie Starbuck, who has been leading a campaign exposing major corporations' woke policies, reported on X on Wednesday that he was in the middle of investigation of Ford when the company sent him documentation indicating that it had some changes, which there you see their good old CEO Jim Farley, which gotta give him credit. He again kind of ADHD comment, but it's Ford. I mean, he famously said a couple of months ago he doesn't care what GM or Dodge are doing in regard to their pony cars. He will always make an affordable V8 sports car, which is awesome because that's becoming more and more rare. I apologize for the ADHD, but I'm a little bit of a gearhead, so there's always some good news. But nevertheless, Robbie Starbuck posted a letter from CEO Jim Farley to employees, where the CEO stated that, quote, the external and legal environment related to political and social issues continues to evolve, and thus in the past year the company has taken a fresh look at their policies and practices, unquote. Which that is an extremely politically correct, not not controversial at all way of saying we're done with this woke stuff. Now, granted, maybe this is just temporary for a couple fiscal quarters. Maybe the marketing wasn't to increase their sales to these initiatives, and maybe they weren't attracting additional shareholders. Because again, there are many variables of why some of these companies are leaning into these woke DEI initiatives and policies and metrics, because they'll get some investments from certain companies. I mean, look at BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. If they have a high score in those type of metrics, there are reasons these companies are doing this. It's not. I don't think it's just because one or two executives at the company are politically or emotionally involved in this rhetoric. I mean, there are many metrics that lead to them doing this. Now they say, quote, in the letter, Farley laid out a series of bullet points telling the Ford workers that the company does not utilize quotas in hiring, saying that they prioritize its resources for business purposes versus publicly commenting on the many polarizing issues of the day. Farley said the company has evolved its employee resources groups, ERG, noting that the ERGs are open to all employees. Farley also claimed Ford employees made the decision earlier in the year that no longer participate in the Human Rights Campaign Corporate Equality Index, which is an annual survey that report to use gauge policies, practices, and benefits pertinent to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, and queer plus employees, which I thought that was a pejorative term, but I think it's making a comeback apparently. But they also said, quote, Ford confirmed the authenticity. I need more people to click that subscribe button. It'll help, I swear. So Ford confirmed the authenticity of the letter in Fox Business when reached for comment, And they say, quote, "We have nothing further to add." Now, they definitely need to make a change because their stock is taking a beating as it's trading for, was it? Great. Again, by the time this video is rendered and uploaded, it'll be different because the stock market does what the stock market does. And this is by no means financial advice. But shoot, hindsight's always 2020, like, especially when it comes to investing. Who wouldn't have thought? I mean, yes. I mean, in terms of the odds of an electric car company actually succeeding, gosh, how many people wish we can go back in time and buy Tesla stock when they IPO'd at $17 per share? And then we went all the way up to 1,000. They split a couple times. There's still about 200 bucks or 260 plus per share. That looks like, let's see here. Yeah, this stock has crashed. They're about 10.77 per share. So things not doing great at Ford. Now, because of people who buy Ford vehicles, I would guess they tend to be more conservative on average. And if you look at the most profitable part of Ford commercial, it's a lot of heavy duty trucks, a lot of the equipment they use in construction. I would guess on average, this new messaging, this new approach is going to be more favorable to those audiences. I think it's going to be a good move at Ford. Because, I mean, they definitely are not winning on the EVs. I mean, they lost, what, $132,000 per EV Q2. So, and they're decreasing production by 40% for the F-150 Lightning Banana Falcon, where they call the trim levels. And, yeah, they definitely need to get back to what they're doing mostly good, which is, good old V8s. Although, yeah, at $800 million in warranty costs, Q2 didn't help them either. But let's see. Do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's an overall increase Ford sales next couple of fiscal quarters? Do you think there's a change in terms of the culture in the United States where more and more people just want to buy a product and not have the kind of the policies and conscriptions and all these ideologies pushed down their throat as well, and they just want to buy a product and nothing more, nothing less? Or do you think more people actually want these companies to use? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.